Okay, so in this particular video we have taken one more numerical which is based on discrete time Fourier series. Okay, so then in the last video we have seen the steps to find the Fourier coefficients. I have taken very simple numericals so as to clear the basic concept. Okay, now in this particular video we have taken one example where x of n is 1 plus sine 2 pi by n plus 3 cos 2 pi by n into n plus cos 4 pi n by 12 plus pi by 2. And again in this numerical it has been asked to find the Fourier series coefficient. Okay, so as we know that to find the Fourier series coefficient we have to express the given x of n in the terms of exponential. See, the sine and the cos terms are available in this particular numerical, so we will express this sine and the cos terms in the terms of exponential part. Okay, and then we will compare with the standard formula of discrete time Fourier series, and from that comparison we will find the values of the different Fourier coefficients. Okay, right. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, so first of all write down the given x of n function, which is 1 plus sine 2 pi by n into n plus 3 cos 2 pi by n into n plus cos 4 pi n by 12 plus pi by, sorry, this is not 12, this is n. Okay, because 2 pi by n, 2 pi n, so this is n, this, make that correction. So this is 4 pi by n plus pi by 2, right? So the very first step is we have to decide what is the omega naught value from the given expression. Okay, previously we have seen how to find this omega naught. Okay, so how to find omega naught? Just observe this given expression, given expression of x of n. This part is sine omega n, cos omega n, cos omega n. But since this omega is the fundamental frequency, so let us find the fundamental frequency from the given expression. Okay, so what is the fundamental frequency? अगर आप सिंपली इसको ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो आप देख सकते हो कि यहाँ पर दिस इज 4 पाई बाय एन, मीन्स इट कैन बी रिटन एज 2 into 2 pi by n. So again this 2 pi n is there, here 2 pi by n is there, 2 pi by n is there, so this 2 pi by n is the omega naught value. So 2 pi by n, right? So this way we can find the fundamental frequency from the given expression. Okay, why we are finding here this omega naught? Because as you can see here, this given x of n is nothing but the summation of different parts, summation of different functions, like sine function is there, here constant function is there, then cosine, two terms of the cosines are there. So out of all the terms we have to find one fundamental frequency, that is 2 pi by n. Okay, so this way we can find fundamental frequency. Now do one more thing. Let us express the given x of n in the terms of omega naught. How to express it? Very simple. X of n equals to 1 plus, जहाँ भी 2 pi by n है उसको omega naught से replace करो. So let us replace the 2 pi by n terms with the omega naught. So I can write that sine term as sine omega naught n, right? Likewise 3 cos omega naught n, because this is omega naught, plus cos, now here it is 2 into 2 pi by n, so 2 omega naught is there here, 2 omega naught n plus pi by 2. So we have expressed this expression in the terms of omega naught. Now the next step is to express all the sine and the cosine terms in the terms of exponential. So we know it very well that how to write the sine theta and the cos theta in the terms of exponential. Sine theta, so this is your theta part, okay. So sine theta can be written as e raised to power j, theta is omega naught n here, okay, plus e raised to power minus j omega naught n divided by, sorry, this is sine, so minus sign will be here, okay, this is not cos, this is sine, so e raised to power j theta minus e raised to power minus j theta divided by 2j. So we have expressed this term in the terms of exponential. Next is 3. Now the cos term is there, so e raised to power j omega naught n plus e raised to power minus j omega naught n divided by 2 only, okay, and the last term is cos, so that is again e raised to power j, this complete part is your theta, so e j in bracket, since it is a large number, large term, so in bracket 2 omega naught n plus pi by 2 e j theta plus e raised to power minus j, and in bracket again this complete part, that is theta, 2 omega naught n plus pi by 2 and whole divided by 2. So we have expressed this expression in the terms of exponential. Now let us simplify this one. So for simplification, step one by one, take care of all these terms, okay, don't miss any plus or minus sign or any term. So go slowly here while simplification. So let us see here, this part can be written as 1 upon 2j e raised to power j omega naught n, then this minus sign, so minus 1 upon 2j e raised to power minus j omega naught n plus 3 by 2 e raised to power j omega naught n plus 3 by 2 e raised to power minus j omega naught n. So up to this we have opened the bracket. Now the last term is there, so that is plus 1 by 2 and then e raised to power j into this, so there is a plus sign, so we will split this one, okay. So you can write here 1 by 2 e raised to power j 2 omega naught n into e raised to power j pi by 2. So the first term is now this one, plus 1 by 2 e raised to power minus j 2 omega naught n e raised to power minus j pi by 2, okay. So this way we have opened the bracket. Now let us see further simplification is required or not. See, here it is okay, again it is okay. See, these two terms e raised to power j omega naught n, these two terms are common, so we will take we will add this coefficient part and take this common. Likewise again this term and this part is common, so we can take it out common. Now here e raised to power j pi by 2 is this part can be also simplified here. How? Let us see. As we know, e power j theta is given by cos theta plus j sin theta, okay. So we know this relation, so by using this relation we can write e raised to power j pi by 2 as cos pi by 2 plus j sin pi by 2, okay. So what is cos pi by 2? Cos 90 0, and what is sin 90 1, so the value is j into 1. So this way, therefore e raised to power j pi by 2 equals to j only, okay. So now we will use this relation wherever e raised to power j pi by 2 and raised to power okay. Here again e raised to power minus j pi by 2 is required. So let us find e raised to power minus j pi by 2 also. So this is again what? Cos minus pi by 2 minus, sorry, plus j sine minus pi by 2, right? So cos of minus theta is cos theta, okay, and sine of minus theta is minus sine theta. So this minus sign will come outside, and here it doesn't matter, okay, whether it is plus or minus, because cos of minus theta is cos theta. So this is cos pi by 2, it's going to be 0, and this minus sign will come outside, minus j, and sine pi by 2 is 1. So the value of e raised to power minus j pi by 2 is minus j. Okay, so we have these two results here, e raised to power j pi by 2 and e raised to power minus j pi by 2, j and minus j. So we will put these two values in this expression, and then again we can note down this complete expression in a simplified manner. So this is this can be written as 1 plus, see, this part and this part is common, so the remaining constant part will be in bracket 1 upon 2j plus 3 by 2. What is the common part? E raised to power j omega naught n. Likewise this part and this part, okay, so note it down, that is 3 by 2 minus 1 upon 2j e raised to power minus j omega naught n. And this part, by using this these two relations, can be written as, see, plus half, this is how much? J, so place that value j here, and e raised to power j 2 omega naught n. Okay, now the last part, that is plus, now this is minus j, so minus j by 2 e raised to power minus j 2 omega naught n. Okay, so this is our x of n. So we have simplified, and also we have represented the given x of n. So this was the given x of n, and we have simplified this x of n up to this one, okay. Now the next step is to write the formula of discrete time Fourier series. So what is the formula of discrete time Fourier series? Using discrete time Fourier series, we can express our x of n as summation c subscript k e raised to power j omega naught k n, right? And k is from some value 0 to, for example, 0 to n minus 1. This is standard one, okay. Now as per the obtained expression, we will now apply the required limits of k here, okay. Now let us see, okay. Now to find the Fourier coefficient, as we have seen earlier also, that we need to compare this result with the expanded form of this, okay. So let us expand it, and then let's compare, and then we get the value of, then we will get the value of Fourier coefficients. So now let us see how to expand it. Okay, now before expansion, we have to decide the limit of k, okay. In this particular numerical, the fundamental time period is also not mentioned, like our previous numerical where n equals to 6 was mentioned, but we can decide this limit, and let's see how to decide. हम इसको decide कर सकते हैं, बहुत ही सिंपल है. हमें पहले इस x of n को अच्छे से ऑब्जर्व करो, यहीं से हमें हिंट मिलता है इसके लिमिट्स के बारे में, ओके. सी हाउ टू फाइंड दैट हिंट. सी here plus j omega naught n minus j omega naught n, so plus side and the minus side term is available. Likewise, now e raised to power j 2 omega naught n. So this is after this. Oh, this is omega naught n, this is 2 omega naught. Likewise here minus omega naught minus 2 omega naught. It means what? The k value is, as per this part, is ranging from minus 2 up to 2. So we can write here k from minus 2 to 2. C k e raised to power j omega naught k n. Okay, now expand it. इसको एक्सपांड करते हैं तो k की वैल्यू माइनस 2 शुरू करते हैं. सो c minus 2 e raised to power minus j 2 omega naught n. At the place of k, minus 2 is placed here. Okay, now plus c minus 1 e raised to power minus j omega naught n plus c 0 e raised to power j, and the value of k will be 0 here. So 0 into omega naught into n is going to be 0 plus c1 e raised to power plus j omega naught n, k value is 1. ठीक है, and then c2 e raised to power plus j 2 omega naught n. Okay, so from minus 2 to c2. Okay, so we have expanded it. Now let us compare this expanded part with the obtained x of n. So now let us see how to compare. See, e raised to power, let's start with this part. Okay, e raised to power j omega naught n. So where it is? It is here, e raised to power j omega. So c1 is nothing but this much part. Okay, so one by one let us compare. Therefore c1 equals to 3 by 2 plus 1 upon 2j. This is the first coefficient value c1. Likewise e raised to power minus j omega naught n. चेक करो यहाँ पे कहाँ पे है. ओके, ये यहाँ पे e raised to power minus j omega naught n. So this is c subscript minus 1, and that is nothing but 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2j. So c subscript minus 1 is 3 by 2 minus 1 upon 2j. Right. Similarly, the next part is e raised to power j2 omega naught n. तो चेक करो यहाँ पे कहाँ है. So यहाँ पे e raised to power plus j2 omega naught. So c2 is nothing but j by 2. So c subscript 2 is j by 2, and this one is minus part. So here it is. So c subscript minus 2 is nothing but minus j by 2. We are left with one part, that is the first constant 1. Okay, so we haven't compared this part, so let us compare this one. So this is a constant part, so look for the constant in this relation. So this is your constant part because e raised to power j0 is going to be 1. So c naught. So c naught is finally 1. So by this way we can find, or we can obtain, the Fourier coefficient of a discrete time Fourier series. So I think discrete time Fourier series is much easier than the continuous time Fourier series, because in this part we only have to express the given x of n in the terms of exponential, simplify it and obtain the result, and then from the standard DTFS formula, that is discrete time Fourier series formula, decide the limits. While deciding the limit of k, just observe it carefully. You will get hint from here, the value of k, that is minus 2, and here plus 2. So that these two are the end value of k. Okay, so we have placed here k from minus 2 to 2, and then expanded it, and then compare this part with this part one by one. First is a constant, so look for the constant in this. So this is a constant part, so c naught equals to 1. Likewise, compare this part one by one and get the value of the Fourier coefficients. Okay, I hope now it has been clear how to find the discrete time Fourier series coefficients. We have taken 3 numericals in these 2 videos. Now by next video we will see how to plot the magnitude and the phase spectrum of a given continuous time signal or discrete time signal. Thank you.